Hello, brave awakened ones. This is Veronica of Higher Realm Holistics, certified integrative holistic health nurse, medical empathic intuitive, spiritual counselor and guide, and author of the children's book, How the Caterpillar Flew. This is NRV number 2, which is the new revelation video number 2. And today is February 4th, 2019. I just want to let you guys know that, yeah, I said I was going to start making these type of videos to share information that I receive on current events, or pre-current events as I call them, because I don't like to say predictions, because I'm not sitting there like a psychic trying to get the information. I literally have timeline jumped and remote viewed to see this information, and it has never been a voluntary thing. You know, if I'm meant to receive the information, I receive the information. It's like all of a sudden I'm there. That's basically how it goes. Okay. And a couple of things I want to cover. And before I even start, thank you to my Patreon supporters and subscribers, and to please hang out at the end of the video to receive information about my webinars that I have on Saturdays and Sundays. I have virtual healing circles on Saturdays in February, and on Sundays right now I'm deconstructing the Kabbalion to help people understand and apply the 7 Hermetic principles, and also to receive information about my book and book signing coming up, children's book signing. Okay, so first thing I want to cover, and then it will segue into the next new revelation, is, first thing I want to cover is Trump, President Trump. Okay. Now, I grew up in New York City, as most of you know, and I've always despised Trump as a kid. Always. I just thought he was the most arrogant thing that stood for everything I despised in this world. I saw firsthand, you know, how he would pimp himself for money, for anything, put his name on anything, including Trump University, which a couple of my relatives lost thousands of dollars dealing with that shit. So I didn't like him, to say the least, okay? And I did not like HRC. I did not like Ms. Hillary, whatever. She's a demon, and I know what her and her husband are up to in my birthland in Haiti, okay? So not fans of either one of them. So when he was running for president, you know, like I said, I don't vote anyway. I happened to have been down at the Haitian Cultural Center in Miami, do some volunteer work, and I was bringing some things over to donate to the kids who, you know, do daycare there and stuff like that. And next thing I know, I was like, no, you can't go out right now, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I happened to have been with my daughter. Sure enough, Trump was there. And both him and Miss Hillary, they both came down to the cultural center on different days, like different weeks, actually, like one after the other. He was first and she followed, and never announced it to the community, because they knew the Little Haiti Cultural Center is located in Little Haiti. Haitians do not like the Clintons, period. We don't like them because we know what they're about. Okay, so we do not like them. So what do? The both of them, they import a bunch of bougie Haitians for rent from West Palm and bring them down in their Mercedes and BMWs and stuff like that. So, you know, there are people in the neighborhood who got wind of what's going on would run down there. And yeah, I yelled at Trump when I saw him go by, you know, and I was right there, real close to him. I was like, get the hell out of my area. Get out of my county. We don't want you here. Because on top of that, I've been living in the Miami Beach area for 10 years. And also, again, he pimped his name out, and like a third of the buildings that have popped up recently have his name on it, and it completely has been ruining the beach, even though there was a law passed saying there was not supposed to be any more building on the beach. The new mayor came in and sold us out. sold this out to all these developers. And on top of it, to add insult to injury, the buildings are like half empty and been half empty. It's ridiculous. I just think like it's tax shelters for them. And most of them are foreigners besides like the 5 buildings with his name on it. So I was pissed, very pissed at him. Can't say I actually like the man at all. But I'll tell you this about him. This is the revelation I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to drop you guys. Give you the real tea from Lady V on Trump. And how I received this revelation is that I remote viewed, and it was not voluntary. It was actually after that day. It was that same week that I saw him in Little Haiti. I was just sitting on my couch, and the next thing I knew, I was on Pedo Island. And I see him coming off of a plane. And I'm like, what the heck? Where am I? I didn't even know where I was. Because I did not recognize the owner of Pedo Island, Epstein, who, yay, Miami Herald for calling him out. You know, no one else had the balls, but, you know, go Miami. For slapping that pedophile's face on the paper and calling him out for what he is. I was like, okay. And he looked scared. He looked scared to be down there. And he was brought to this place where he was supposed to choose some girls. And he was basically horrified by what he saw. And then when he got back from Pedo Island, he was met with people from the Alliance, who I didn't know existed until I had the pleasure of them being in my room. That's a story for another time. So they met with him, and it was basically, they said to him, not that he did anything wrong. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. He was horrified by what he saw there, which I was very impressed by him. And he was just sitting scared shitless. And the people from the Alliance met with him and said to him, you know, because of all the other shit you've done throughout your career as an oligarch, you could either go down with them or you could help take them down. And it's basically, he's doing what he's doing to save his ass. And not just to save his ass, but also to save his kids' asses also. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. And yes, I did say this to some other people because I knew this at that point. Even before, when he was elected, I knew he was going to be elected. Wasn't surprised. But he's also going to be reelected. And he is also the last American president, quote unquote, because again, by 2025, politics is completely different. The government is totally different. The whole, between 2022 to 2025, no, I'm sorry, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24, I mean, because it's 5 years. 2022 to 2024 is the entire setup of the new systems, monetary systems. It's not to say that changes aren't going to start happening now, because they are, especially the monetary system and the banking system. That's been changing, okay? And it's this year, again, I've mentioned this back in 2018, 2019 is when everything becomes more public, more known, coming from the back to the front. Let's put it that way, okay? So, yeah, he's going to be reelected, and he's going to be the one to help execute this change. He really is. And he's doing it to save his ass and to save his kids. That is why he's doing it. So, you know, to help wipe his slate clean. There's other information on him when it comes to, is he going to actually make it through to there? Let's just say there is a big target on him. And everything is being done to protect him so he can pull this off. And he's scared. He is scared. But he also knows what's on the line. Just doing it right now. I'm actually getting verklempt. Why am I getting choked up over this man? Because I know he's actually trying. But he is actually trying. Segueing from that, when it comes to how the government is changing, one of the first things that's going to happen is not that the IRS is going to be abolished, is that, and I've known this for a couple of years now, because I was told, because I'm like, ugh, when am I going to get my big influx of cash to use to do my healing centers and to do everything else, blah, blah. And my oversoul made it very clear to me, and so did the Alliance, that I have to wait until income tax is abolished. So actual income tax is going to be abolished. That's what's going to happen. What's going to go in place of it? Yeah, I know there's talk about sales tax and stuff like that, but the whole thing's going to be reworked because the cabal is no longer going to be getting the money, because that's where the bulk of our money is going to those liars and murderers and molesters. That's who's been stealing our monies, and warmongers. So that money is no longer going to be going to them. So it no longer needs to be taken from us because they're being dismantled. Okay, so that's that tea on that. Now that segues into what's being exposed right now. A big, huge arrest that happened is John of God. And I'm sure there are many energy healers out there who knows of John of God. And how I first heard of John of God was actually via my mother. She wanted to go down there because, you know, she's a staunch Catholic, and she travels all over the place, and she was like, oh, this is so interesting, blah, blah. And then I saw Wayne Dyer talking about John of God when Wayne Dyer was diagnosed with cancer. He had leukemia, and he went there and was cured, so to speak, from John of God. And I was just like, okay, you know, Wayne Dyer was one of the ones that I started following and watching when I was only 9 years old. So I was like, okay, cool for Wayne Dyer. And I was like, okay, so this guy's doing miracles. But I didn't like the guy. I just did not like him. Yeah, I didn't like him. I didn't know why. I just didn't like him. I didn't like him. And then Oprah went down there and was making a huge deal out of him and everything like that. And then, of course, you had the Clinton go down there, and Naomi Campbell go down there too. Okay. And now the New York Post and other newspapers the other day on the 31st of January just put the story out there that this guy was arrested. John of God was arrested, and he had a farm. He was farming women and babies. And after he kept these women for 10 years, he'd get them when they were between the ages of, 11 to 18. And they would be raped constantly by his staff to produce babies to sell to rich white people in Europe for 40 to 50 grand a pop. And it was this Swedish woman, I think it was a Swedish woman, who stepped up and said that she brought a baby from him for $50,000 or $40,000. And other people in Europe are stepping up saying, yeah, they brought babies. Like 4 people so far women came through to say that they purchased babies from him. I mean, come on, really, people? I think you're just as freaking guilty. You're just as guilty. The sin's on you too. Because you know, ugh. So, and then this other woman, again, I think she was a Swede also, came out on public TV and said that she was raped by this man. And then his own daughter came forth that he has been raping and molesting her. And she was even impregnated by one of his staff since she was 10 years old. She was raped and molested by him and his staff. So this guy's a big time devil. Okay. And so far it's up to 600 women, 600 allegations. Okay. Never mind all the dead ones. And this is in Brazil. Okay. So that is a big exposure, and that's part of the taking down of the church. And what sucks for us energy healers is that he's an energy healer. And yeah, he actually did do healings. I meditated and asked about it. And then what video pops up in my videos to watch? But David Wilcock. He just put out a video yesterday. I was like, oh, let me watch his video. And then sure enough, who's he talking about but John of God, who he calls now John of Hell. And he's saying what he said confirms what the message I received, that yeah, this guy really did do healings. He did it. They do have energy. They can do these things. Okay? They really can. They can perform, quote unquote, what looks like miracles. They can. They're doing it through dark means, but they can. Okay? And okay, so he's in jail right now and everything's being uncovered and stuff like that. And also the bishop, I forgot his name. He's a big bishop in Rome. He was recently actually convicted of molestation. He's the first bishop ever convicted of molestation. So that's a pretty big one. Okay, again, the church is falling. You know, the church is falling. It is what it is. And finally, that's all I could say. Hallelujah to that. Let me see. Okay. Well, that's it for now. All right, everyone. That's it for now. Okay. Yeah. So hang in there. We already won, you know. And we're just going to see more and more. And this period, again, I've mentioned it before, 2019 through 2022, and I don't know when it ends in 2022, is the cleanup stage. This is why all this crap is going to be coming out while the cleanup stage is happening. The sweeping out is happening of Gaia, of lower vibrating beings. We, those light workers, we are basically getting our shit together. Really getting our shit together. Like come April, we are going to be working full time in our prospective arenas. Okay. Like I will literally be, I'm going to say it, I should literally be starting to build my clinics. I mean, I have an office. I have a 3-room office right now in North Miami Beach, but it's that next level. Come April, it's the next leveling up. Let's put it that way. April 2019, next leveling up. And right now is the Chains of Glory. I said a couple of videos back, that this is what the period is, these Chains of Glory. And was it yesterday? I put a video out there because I was used in part of putting up the higher 5D mind grid timeline template, the new higher timeline template, which was a pretty scary experience, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm glad I did it because I'm part of it and I'm fully dedicated and devoted to it. So that is up. And again, these people are going to be more and more exposed as time goes by because the 3D grid is down and they don't have what it takes to power it up because we have been foiling them since the eclipse. The eclipse was supposed to be a huge boost for them. They never got that energy. So now everything is going to be coming out and coming out, you know, and then swept away while we get ourselves together. We get the money, the people, and the resources together. We start forming our prospective tribes to do what we got to do. So that's what we're going to be doing. So come April, the plan that is set into motion for light workers. And so by the time sweeping time is over, 2022, which I don't know when in 2022, so between 2022 and 2024 is that transition into heaven on earth. It's completed at that point. You know, all the garbage is gone, right? So we're setting up everything new. First, we start off between now and 2022, building our pockets of heaven. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing as light workers, building our pockets of heaven. And the more of us build our little pockets of heaven, you know, next thing you know, all of Gaia is heaven on earth by 2025. So that's the deal. Okay, so thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. And again, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, whether it's live in my office in North Miami Beach under my copper crystal pyramid for healing and everything like that, or you want holistic health counseling, which I do everything all together. You know, you come in for healing. If you have like diabetes, high blood pressure going on, we're going to cover everything. If you want a big care plan, you could purchase that also. I do those too. So if you want an office visit, or I do Zoom video conferencing, and I also do phone if you're shy. And I also, on my website, you can purchase autographed copies of my book, or you could get it even faster from any major online book retailer. And my book signing's coming up in the largest Barnes & Noble in South Florida, in Miami. And this is my book, How the Caterpillar Flew, hardcover children's book with beautiful artwork from... you can purchase it on any online book retailer. And again, here's some of the artwork. Okay, it rhymes, and it's to awaken the hidden potential in the young one. And it also works on adults too. It awakens the hidden potential in adults also. You could also purchase meditations, webinars that I'm having. And yes, I do have the recording of the webinars and the healing circles if you wish to purchase those too. Okay, so we got this. We already won. Okay, so it's just, you know, cleanup time, getting ourselves together, organized, and getting ourselves together to, you know, come out from the back into the front. Okay, peace. Love you guys. Bye.